Picture this. You're late for work. The kids are yelling about who gets the last Pop-Tart. Your phone's already buzzing with emails. And now, the dog decides the middle of the sidewalk is the perfect place to stop and think about life. You yank the leash. You plead. You're about to lose it. When the dog turns around and says, "Hey, genius, I just saved your life." Maybe thank me instead of yelling at me. Yeah, sounds like a Disney movie gone wrong, doesn't it? But the Bible actually tells a story kind of like that. Only swap the dog for a donkey, and the guy arguing with her? Supposedly a prophet, supposedly wise. Truth is, the donkey was the smartest one on the road. This is the Parsonage Files. Today's story, Balaam, a greedy plan, an angel with a sword, and one very fed-up donkey who refused to play dumb.
You're listening to the Parsonage Files. Dale, a retired church custodian, has a gift for uncovering the quirky stories hidden in the Bible, church history, and life itself. Now, he's sharing them with Rick, Rob, and you.
Well, guys, the Bible has some wild stories. Today's has a greedy prophet, an angel with a sword, and, believe it or not, a talking donkey. And no, this isn't a cartoon. It's right there in Numbers 22. The Israelites are camped near Moab. The king of Moab? He's nervous. Imagine looking out your window and seeing 1,000,000 tents. He decides that's a problem, so he hires a prophet named Balaam. Balaam wasn't your friendly neighborhood pastor. He was more like a spiritual freelancer. People thought his blessings and curses worked, and kings paid top dollar. The king offers him a pile of cash to curse Israel. Balaam says no at first. God told him not to. But when the king shows up with even more money, Balaam saddles up his donkey. Out loud he says, "I'll only speak what God tells me." But deep down, he's already picturing the down payment on his new place. Imagine that. Someone saying that they will obey God but having no intention of actually doing it. Before we go any further, let me set the record straight about one of my favorite barnyard animals, donkeys. People love to call donkeys stubborn, but that's human arrogance talking. Donkeys don't panic like horses. They stop, think, and size things up. Imagine if more people did that. They've got long memories. A donkey can remember people and places for years. I know folks who can't remember what they had for lunch yesterday. They're problem solvers. Studies say they can learn commands, respond to gestures, and even figure out how to use tools in extreme circumstances. So when Balaam's donkey stops in her tracks, she's not being difficult. She's being cautious. That donkey is showing that she is smarter than the guy riding her. God wasn't impressed with Balaam's greedy little road trip, so he sent an angel with a sword to block the way. That angel was there to stop Balaam in his tracks. Of course, Balaam didn't see a thing, but the donkey sure did. First, in order to avoid the angel, she swerved into a field. Balaam hit her. Next, that little donkey crushed Balaam's foot against a wall to avoid the angel. Balaam hit her again. Finally, she sees the angel blocking their way a third time, sword raised, ready to strike. That donkey just sat down in the street. She was thinking to herself, "I'm done with this nonsense." Balaam, humiliated, beat her a third time. And then comes the surprise. God gives the donkey a voice. "What have I done to you that you've hit me 3 times?" And Balaam, like this is the most normal thing in the world, starts arguing back, says, "You made me look like a fool. If I had a sword, I'd kill you." Now here's the funny part. Balaam is mad about looking foolish, while arguing with a donkey. I'm afraid that ship has sailed, buddy. The donkey shoots back. Haven't I always been your ride? Have I ever done this before? Balaam sheepishly answers, Well, no. And that's how a donkey won the argument. Not the first time a guy thought he was the smartest in the room and wasn't. And I'm sure that it won't be the last. Then God opens Balaam's eyes. There's the angel, sword out, ready to strike. Balaam drops face first onto the hard, dusty ground. Finally, he sees the danger. The angel says, Why did you beat your donkey? She saved your life. If not for her, I'd have struck you down. Balaam admits, I've sinned. I'll do whatever God wants. The angel says, Fine, but you only speak the words God gives you, which is Bible speak for you're not as in charge as you think you are. So what do we do with a story like this? Maybe it's a reminder that God can speak through voices we'd normally ignore. Balaam thought he was the prophet with all the answers. Turned out the donkey saw what he couldn't. And maybe the same is true for us. God's grace is always working, slowing us down, putting up roadblocks, even speaking through people we look down on. So here's the question. Is God trying to get your attention, but you're too wrapped up in your own plans to hear it? Thanks for spending a few minutes with me. See you next time for another odd but true story of faith. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Dale. Pastor Rick,
Yeah.
confession. I've never heard that story in my life.
Well, it's not a part of the lectionary. So,
Whoa, back it up. Lectionary is what?
yeah.
'Cause to me, I mean, you're sort of like the Peanuts teacher, right? I can hear the words coming. I just don't know what it means.
Yeah. So the lectionary is a 3-year cycle of scripture passages
Okay.
that we use on a Sunday morning. And traditionally, the United Methodist Church pastors follow it. We're not required to.
So like growing up, you'd see the bulletins and it came pre-printed with
Yeah,
what
right.
it
Yeah,
was,
yeah, yeah.
and the Sunday school stuff all matched.
Right.
It wasn't just coincidence.
It wasn't just coincidence. No.
Ah.
And it takes you through all the major aspects of the faith, right?
Gotcha.
So there's always a gospel reading, an epistle reading, which
Which is the word I cannot say.
which are the letters there in the New Testament. There's a psalm, and then there is an Old Testament. And now, funny thing about the lectionary is you sometimes assume that since all 4 of these verses are together each week, that they all deal on the same subject.
One would assume.
They do not. So you gotta watch
Wait, are they at least related?
sometimes.
If not, then you got to figure out how to string it
Look,
together.
look, if it's like Advent or Lent,
be the same.
yeah, it's gonna be. But you're in mid-July. Nah. Now,
For the 4 people that are in church in
right.
July.
So what I do is I typically follow the Gospels. That works out pretty well. Or if you follow the epistles, those all go together
And
each
lots
week.
of aspects of life following the Gospels work out well.
Yeah, pretty much. So that is why you probably haven't heard this story, but it's always one of the kids' favorite stories. I preached on it maybe a year or so ago when I was doing a series on the weird stories in the Bible that we never preached.
Vibe to it.
It really does.
Wilbur.
So, Rob, have you ever heard a talking animal
In English, that's a big negative.
or any language? I mean,
dog.
if it was Portuguese, I'd take it.
We have a couple dogs and have had dogs for a long time, and they talk in their own way,
Right.
But they don't speak English, Portuguese, Spanish, English, whatever. No, I've never heard that. I'm not sure what I would do if I did. Is this story supposed to be taken literally?
Most scholars will tell you no, it's not, that it is a parable and that it was meant to be sort of funny.
Because being a donkey, a stubborn animal,
Talking,
and it knows more than
and it was a way. Now, Balaam is a real historical figure.
I learned that. Oh, wait. Pastor Rick, I actually have a fact on this.
Okay, share your
I've
fact.
never heard of this dude. And then when I was researching, I came up with like mind blown information.
Okay.
Did you know that Balaam?
I've heard it both ways.
He's one of prophecy, the
Star of Bethlehem.
Star of Bethlehem. Thank you. You're a good interpreter of my fingers. Yeah. Pairing Numbers 24:17, he says, I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star will come out of Jacob. A scepter will rise out of Israel. Who knew that was him? And that just a little earlier, he was talking to his donkey.
It is.
I would think that would be something that would have made the whole nativity scene more interesting, to have a talking donkey involved in it. But again, not a church administrator, not a church father. I didn't come up with writing the Bible, but I personally would have thought that would have made this story better.
Yeah. Now, Balaam was a real person. Archaeologists have actually dug up some.
So was he really a prophet for hire? That was a thing?
No, that was the thing, apparently. And he was well known for being able to cast good spells. And when I mean good, not that they did good things, but that they worked well.
Effective,
yeah, for casting effective spells. And he would just go around telling people what God said for a fee. Sounds like a televangelist. Oh, wait, I'm not supposed to say that out loud. But it does. And that's kind of how he was looked at. But yeah, he would just go around and sell his services to people. And if you had somebody he didn't like, he would just curse this person. But apparently it worked, or at least people assumed that it worked. Of course, there's people today that take money for doing so-called miracles, and
right?
It's an act. But he was a real person. They've dug up, archaeologists have dug up his name on ancient inscriptions from the land of Moab and Israel, that area.
So we probably have landed on the fact that it's probably a parable.
Probably a parable, at least the talking donkey part.
Man, I really want to see an angel with a flaming sword.
That would
have
be
you ever
cool.
seen one?
I have never seen an
But you
angel.
want to, right?
Now, did you ever hear the story of Dad's angel and Bob Evans? Did he ever tell you the story?
I'm not familiar. Our dad.
Okay. Yeah, our
dad.
dad.
A flaming sword?
No.
Flaming hibachi
No,
sticks?
he had a pair of running pants on.
Are you making this up?
No, I swear to you.
You're making this up.
No, this would have been back when I was getting ready to have open heart surgery. So Owen, it would have been right around the time Owen was born. So this would have been...
Owen's your son?
Yeah, Owen's my son. And he's 18. So this would have been like 2007-ish. And Dad said that he was going to have open heart surgery and he was nervous about it. And so he and Mom were sitting in the Bob Evans in Grove City.
Okay.
And been there. And they weren't talking about this at all. They were just sitting there eating. I'm sure Mom was commenting on the salad or whatever she was having.
Right.
And all of a sudden, this older gentleman and his wife, they assumed, who was sitting kind of catty corner from them, he gets up and he walks over and he goes, I have something to show you. And now he hadn't been talking about
surgery
or anything at all, and nothing medical. And the guy has like sweatpants, like work pants or workout pants on. And he said he's like maybe like 70-ish. And he just right there in the middle of Bob Evans starts doing these exercises. Okay. And so Dad's like, Dad, right?
Right.
He's not going to be all confrontational, like, what you doing? And so he was nice and thanked the guy. And the guy...
So the guy just gets up and does exercises.
Yeah, like all these exercises. And then he looks at Dad and he goes, I'll be seeing you later. And he turns around. And
like goes, a Man in Black?
Yeah. And Dad looks at Mom and he goes, what was that?
You know what Men in Black usually say?
And then, later. Yeah. And when he turns around, they're gone. So he assumed that, the guy's wife was embarrassed. That's why dad assumed the guy's wife was embarrassed. And so, all right, we got to go pay the bill. And
I've never heard this.
You never heard this?
Never heard this.
Oh, yeah. And they were going to have to go pay the bill, right? And so dad had his surgery. Later on, after the surgery, all those exercises that guy showed him, Bob Evans, were the exercises that he was shown to
In cardiac
do
rehab?
in cardiac rehab.
That's weird.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, just the fact that somebody did exercises in the middle of Bob Evans in Grove City, Ohio is a little bit odd. But the dad said maybe it was an angel that was sent to make him
I'm
feel
a little
better.
disappointed if that's what angels are, because I'm really wanting the flaming swords.
There's a little more to the story.
But that's the general
But
gist.
that's the general gist of it. Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever seen an angel?
Just a lovely and talented Mrs. Burke.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never seen an angel from that I've recognized as one.
Do you know what this story reminded me of?
What's that?
It reminded me of that story that was in the news maybe a decade ago of the nursing home cat.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
And I forget what was that cat's name. And it would walk around the nursing home and it would buddy up to people who were getting ready to die. And
wait.
No, you never heard this?
No.
He was like he was like the Grim Reaper of kitties.
Okay. I'm searching. So I can get
Are you searching his name?
Nursing home cat.
And so he would start buddying up to somebody, and everybody he buddied up with soon died.
He looks cute.
Yeah. What does it have his name?
This is Oscar.
Oscar. Yeah. Oscar the cat.
Oscar would nap with terminally ill patients.
Yeah. And so, and he was like 7 or 8 patients in a row. So whoever he buddied up with
coming towards you.
It became like, it was on the news and everything, because it was like people were like scared if Oscar starts wanting to sleep with you at night, you better start making some final preparations. So I think sometimes animals see things that we don't. So how often you have 2 dogs, Sadie and Kylie.
Yep.
And how often do they just bark at nothing?
All the time. And for Sadie, we call it her Sadar.
Her Sadar?
Sadar is going off, but you see nothing. You have no idea.
So was it Thursday? I dropped something off at your house.
Yeah.
You were at work, and your wife, his wife Kim, was there at home, and I didn't even have to push the doorbell because your dog Sadie had already alerted her that I was there.
Sadar,
right? And the window, on the front of your house, she couldn't even get to because that door was shut. Yeah. So she just could hear that my car was there, and she had gone to greet me at the door. And after she went and got Kim. So I think sometimes animals do see things or do know things about us that we don't.
Summarize, I suppose.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to make of these stories in a Bible like this, that they serve a valuable theological lesson, but may not necessarily be 100% true? Is not the word I'm looking for, but word am I looking for, Pastor Rick?
Historically accurate.
Historically accurate. So but parables are that way, right?
Parables are that way. And even stories, historical stories over time get embellished. They get changed. Meaning gets added. We can think of, for instance,
Paul Revere,
right? Did his ride through the New England countryside to warn people of the impending British invasion actually happen the way we were taught in school? Probably not. Right. But it serves a greater function than being 100% historically accurate, right? Because the Bible's, it's a religious book that was written in an historical context. While a lot of what's in the Bible is historically accurate,
the truth in it is 100%.
The truth is 100% accurate. The all of the dates and all of that. Maybe not. Or are there some of these fanciful stories thrown in?
Which is
absolutely.
Which one of my favorite topics, which we need to cover, by the way, is Noah's Ark.
Oh yeah,
and all the people that have traveled to Mount Ararat or whatever to try and find it, based on maybe directions in the Bible that are accurate or not accurate. But it's a great story. I love that story. We need to do that one.
I heard it's in northern Kentucky.
I've heard that as well. I have.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Are there parts of the Bible that are some fun stories? Yeah, this is one of them. It's a
Serve a
fun
point. Serve a
It
point.
serves a point, but was never meant to be that a donkey 100% talked.
So I shouldn't expect Sadie to talk to me on the way home.
Well, you could. Have you ever seen those YouTube videos where those dogs are pushing those buttons to talk?
Yes.
Uh, I think you need to get Sadie and Kylie those because I think they got a lot on their minds.
I'm not sure I want to know what it is.
Yeah, I'm not sure we want to know, but I think they have a lot on their mind. So that's our story for today. And thank you for watching here on the Parsonage Files. My name is Rick Burke, and I am the pastor at Groveport United Methodist Church. And this is my brother Rob,
Who is not the pastor at Groveport
who
United
is
Methodist
not.
Church,
And,
which we all can be thankful for.
absolutely. And along with our retired church custodian friend Dale, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Parsonage Files.
See you next time.
Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Parsonage Files. Join us again as we explore the fun side of faith.